Doug Schertz at our assignment desk joins me now. Doug, so we just talked about it a little bit, but you've got some breaking news out of Chambers County, and I know Sky Eye is about 5–10 minutes out from being over the scene, but what do you know at this point?
Yeah, Sky about 5 minutes away from arriving at this. We started getting calls about this situation on I-10 about a little after, a little before 8 o'clock, rather. Sorry, I had to look at the clock and get my bearings of time here. But earlier this morning, Chambers County working a situation of a possible intoxicated driver that they were trying to locate along the interstate. As we understand, a trooper had found that vehicle and was working to get that vehicle off the main lanes into the side road when another deputy pulled up behind them, and then another state trooper pulling up behind them as well to assist in working with this driver and making sure that the situation gets under control. And that's when another vehicle coming along the freeway, as we understand from the sheriff in Chambers County, smashed into the back end of that vehicle. Sky, again, just a few minutes away from getting our first look at what's going on. The striking vehicle pinned that deputy, a DPS trooper, rather, pinned the DPS trooper in between the two vehicles. That trooper was taken by Lifeline. The sheriff indicated to us that there is a fatality at this scene, and the initial word on that is that it's the striking driver who is deceased from this whole situation. And again, we're about to get our first look of this from Sky. We had them launch immediately, returning to the air after their morning troll for the 6 a.m. news. Once we heard of this, they're headed en route there. They're less than about 4 minutes away from that location, and we're trying to get more information. Sheriff Hawthorne, again, not on location out there at the moment, but he was collecting information and obtaining that for us from his troopers there as Sky is now fired up their camera and getting turned around there. You're going to expect to see a lot of traffic in this area because this is an area that doesn't have feeder roads or the side roads like you have in the city so much, where you can just get off on the feeder road and turn. This is near Highway 61, so if you are in that area and you're listening to us on the ABC 13 app, this is going on the eastbound lanes of I-10 out near Highway 61. The Chambers County rest area is out there in that vicinity as well, and we're starting to see some of that eastbound backup now. If you take the Sky shot there, Chaz, you'll see this is the back end of the traffic that is getting stacked up in this on the I-10 eastbound headed towards the Beaumont Port Arthur area, and this is going to be miles and miles of this traffic there as you see them forcing them off, and I'm going to believe that's going to be at the Highway 61 exit if I'm not mistaken. I don't have them up on the map at the moment. Actually, that's going to be the Farm Market 563. So as Sky is approaching, looking at the map for Sky, it looks like they're forcing them off at the FM 563 exit before you hit Highway 61. And Tammy, if you can hear me, if you can just go ahead and pan forward and see if we can see anything of the actual incident that's out there.
Doug, real quick, I want to clarify something because I had originally read that as though a deputy and a trooper were struck. Is it just the trooper who was struck, or are you hearing that a deputy from the sheriff's department and a DPS trooper were hit somehow?
Yeah, so there were two deputies, or two troopers, and a Chambers County Sheriff's deputy. So the first trooper that arrived, he was shaken up, as we're told. The deputy from Chambers County was being assessed at the scene for injuries. They did not indicate the extent of the injuries. And then the trooper, the second arriving trooper, who was pinned between the two vehicles, he was taken by Lifeline. We understand he has serious injuries. Don't know anything beyond that at this point, but he was taken by Lifeline immediately. The Lifeline was called out to the scene to assist out there. And then again, as Sheriff Hawthorne indicated to us, the striking driver that pulled up to that location and ended up striking the trooper's vehicle with the trooper pinned in between the vehicles. That driver of that vehicle that struck the trooper has lost their life out there at this scene. And again, Sky 13 just getting into the location there, and we can see just traffic-wise, real quick, if you're headed eastbound on I-10 and you're approaching the Highway 61 and FM 563 area in Chambers County, that's right before the Chambers County rest area. You're going to be forced off the freeway to run the feeder road, and it looks like they're letting traffic go right back on, but you're going to have some heavy delays in there, and Sky 13 starting to arrive in this location. And just to reiterate, that first deputy, as we understood it, the first trooper, rather, the trooper who located this vehicle of this possible DWI suspect, once he was able to finally initiate a stop on that vehicle, the vehicle stopped in the moving lane of traffic, and the deputy, or the trooper rather, the trooper had to go in and physically move that vehicle over into the shoulder, is what the sheriff told us. And by that point, by the time he had gotten over to the side, we understand is when a Chambers County deputy arrived. He was the second officer to arrive out there before the second trooper came into the situation. So it appears, looking at the visuals here now from the Sky Eye, it looks like the majority of the activity is going to be closer to the inbound or the inside shoulder, if you will, the inside shoulder. So it looks like the trooper had moved the vehicle over to the inside shoulder before the deputy pulls up, and then the second trooper behind him before that striking vehicle hit. And we can see some of the damage there as a result of this. Again, this is going to keep I-10 eastbound shut down for some time as they do this investigation into this now fatality accident. And this is the I-10 eastbound out past Winnie in the area of Highway 61 and the Chambers County rest area.
All right, Doug.
Tammy Rose is in Sky Eye, and
cool. So I'm going to
Yep,
let
go
you
ahead.
guys get more details on that. Obviously, a lot going on. You can see Sky Eye on scene right now. Doug, I appreciate it, and we'll check back in for any updates that you might have on this. But yeah, if you're driving way out there in Chambers County, you can expect some delays. Thank you, Doug.